Brad, today is the day. It's the 23rd. We finally get the Knives Out sequel.
That's
Have
right.
you did you didn't watch it yet, did you?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I'm watching it as soon as we're done here. So I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of the Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion, I want to talk about a film by Rian Johnson today. Are you good with that?
Yeah, let's talk about his first film, his 2005 neo-noir film, Brick.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I am Jeff Johnson,
I am Brad Kozo.
and this is a film by. We are talking about Rian Johnson's mysterious directorial debut, Brick. Just celebrating today is the day we finally get that Glass Onion movie that we've been looking
Hmm.
forward to, Brad. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked about Rian Johnson earlier this year. I know we talked about him elsewhere. Um, I'll reinstate my feelings. I'm a big Rian Johnson fan. Are
Mm.
you?
Um how do I put this? I'm going to upset a lot of listeners today, but I'm going to be respectful and courteous and nice and open-minded. But as of this moment, no, I'm not the biggest Rian Johnson fan.
Well,
And but I feel that there is more to the guy than what we've seen so far. So
well, now I have to just go ahead and just cut to the chase. Are you did you enjoy the film Brick?
I can say with 100% absolutely, I did not enjoy
Oh
this
wow.
film. But that's okay though, because we don't like every film that we talk about here on A Film By, but there's still a lot of stuff to talk about it. But I wasn't a fan of this film, but doesn't mean there isn't some good elements in there as well.
We're in for a conversation then, my friend, because
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of the film. So we're gonna clash today, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, look, it's his directorial debut. Um, you want to let our listeners know what Brick is all about?
Sure. Without giving out any spoilers, because there is a lot of plot points and spoilers to this film, you basically have high school loner Brendan, who's played by Ryan Johnson regular Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as he discovers his ex-girlfriend dead in a sewer. And on his way to find out what happened to her, he is thrown into an underworld of drugs, infidelity, and murder.
I feel like your synopsis gave away more than other synopses that I've read because you said dead girlfriend and other ones they say missing. So you're spoiling yourself now, pal.
Well, I mean, this is the opening shot. The opening shot of
It
the
is.
movie,
It
and
is the
it's
opening shot.
very quickly revealed that it is Brendan's ex-girlfriend. And I will say that I was actually a fan of the opening of this film.
Okay. Well, let's get to that in a second. Let's talk a quick bit about the cast here. So obviously, you mentioned Rian Johnson, regular Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This is his
Mhm.
first time working with Rian Johnson. And Brad, I gotta say, I feel like this is the film that made Joseph Gordon-Levitt a bona fide movie star.
I don't know if it made him a movie star, but he definitely graduated out of he was stuck in that kind of the third rock from the sun young kid, almost in a Nickelodeon Disney kid field. This graduated him into more adult themed stuff. And then basically after this, we started to see this kind of rise of him, taking notice out of
Okay, yeah,
television
you know
into
what?
film.
Yeah, you let's go with what you're saying there because yeah, maybe not a movie star, but this is where he becomes an adult, a serious actor.
Right,
How
right.
about that? A
Yeah.
serious actor. The guy that you saw in Inception, the guy that you saw in The Dark Knight uh,
Right.
Rises.
Yeah.
This is where that Joseph Gordon-Levitt comes from. He is sensational in this movie. Might be my favorite thing about the movie.
Yeah. He is good, you know. I mean, he's in every scene.
Yeah. How often do you see that where
That's
you
rare.
have an actor in every single scene of the movie? It's
Yeah.
rare, isn't it?
Hmm.
He's incredible. His character, I want to mention it later with some of the scenes, but I love the confidence of the character. You know, um, there's a reason for his confidence, and we'll get into that when we talk about the little bit about the production of this movie. But he's fantastic.
Hmm.
What'd you think about Lucas Haas playing the Pin?
Terrible casting choice.
What? No,
Terrible casting
no.
choice. I don't understand. He's now, I think, been featured on, this is the second film by episode. I believe he was on Mars Attacks.
He was.
And I'm like, for somebody that is just not very what I call screen friendly, yeah, I bad choice.
I can't
Not
believe you.
intimidating at all. Is supposed to be kind of
No.
a dark drug lord. He was laughable in my opinion.
Okay.
I
See,
can't. I mean, with the exception of the little kid in Witness, I've never really seen the appeal of him.
you you get a new prescription for those glasses, man,
No,
because
I
he's
don't. When you think of drug underlord, this is not the name that pops up. Lucas
well,
Haas.
that's why it's brilliant, okay?
Mm.
Because Lucas Haas is known for playing the adorable kid. He's known for playing the easygoing, the quiet guy, you know. He's very non-confrontational. And here he is. He's the kingpin of this drug operation in this town, and he's dressed like I don't know, Johnny Depp in Dark Shadows, and he's creepy. He kind of put me on edge, and you don't expect that from Lucas Haas, but I found him intimidating. I found him a little bit unsettling. Like the haircut, the strange, he's got the strange thing with the cane and the one dress shoe and the one boot. He's creepy as hell, man. It's almost like he walked out of Blue Velvet. I love him in this movie. I can't believe you don't like him.
Yeah, not a fan of Blue Velvet either, but
Oh god,
I
we're just
just,
gonna
yeah,
fight all day.
that,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I didn't, I felt that because you were hearing about Penn,
Yeah.
and there was a big buildup for him. So I was expecting somebody else, or just, yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
All right. Well, let's talk about our femme fatale, Nora Zehetner, who plays
Mhm.
Laura. I don't know where she's been. I don't know where she came from, but a sensational young actress. I really enjoyed her performance.
She did have the femme fatale down.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely had that look, that speech, that, come hither. She, like a almost like a cheetah in the corner. She did that very, very well.
I
You
feel
have a
like,
you have a lot of questions about her character.
yeah, I feel like this whole episode, I'm going to be pulling things from you just for you to say nice things. I feel like about this
I
film.
told you,
So
even though it's a film every film, even the worst ones, there you can find good things to say about.
I got nothing but good things to say. So moving on to our other female lead, Emily DeRaven, playing Emily, the girlfriend who we see briefly and mostly in flashbacks. I
Mhm.
remember her from Lost a long time ago. I think she was in the Hills Have Eyes remake. I remember in that too. But again, I haven't really seen a whole lot from her.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a very familiar face though. I had never seen Lost, so I was hoping that you would come up with something that I had seen her in, but I guess I haven't.
Well, you saw the Hills Have Eyes
Yeah, but yeah,
remake.
a while ago.
It's been a while, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she played the young girl, the young daughter in that
Hmm.
one. All right, we got a couple of the pins henchmen, as it were. We gotta talk about Tug, played by Noah Fleiss. I I know you're probably gonna have plenty to say about his wardrobe,
Oh yeah,
but but what'd you think of Tugger?
I didn't like Tug.
You didn't like Tugger? You had to like his car. I know you like. I know you love that car.
I hated his outfit, his beanie, that strand of hair that just had to come down like through the beanie that just
Well,
like wouldn't go away. There was just so
remember,
many.
remember
I
this is
don't.
two. Remember this is 2004, 2005 high school.
Yeah, but
That look, Vin Diesel was making that look crazy popular because of the Fast and Furious film. So you got to give it a
Vin
little bit
Diesel
of.
never had any hair.
Well, yeah, but he had the white tank top and the muscle car. I mean, help me out here. Come on.
I mean, Tugger was just a little too, uh, I don't know, too crazy, I
He's
guess.
he's a henchman,
Yeah, it
but he
just,
doesn't
I
want to
don't
be a
know.
henchman. He wants to kind of take over things, right?
Yeah, it's what he's basically looking to do.
All right. How about Dode, played by Noah Segan?
Okay, it's nothing with the actors, and
Yeah.
it's nothing with what I feel is that I couldn't understand the Emily's characters, with the exception of Brendan, choice of men. Her men were idiots. You've got Tugger and Dode, and there was just a lot of things about that I didn't kind of
Well,
understand her. It kind of made Emily character seem a little stupid.
well, okay. Let me help you out with this, or maybe I don't help you out, but I can sum her up real easy. It's all in her dialogue when when Brendan tries to kind of help her, to kind of give her one last shot to like come back to me, like let me take you away. She is willfully saying no. You can't be a part of where I'm at. You can't be a part of the people I'm with. She is a drug addict at this
Yeah,
point. She is someone that's fallen in with the wrong crowd. She wants to be one of them. She wants to be around them. And so that's why her choice in guys is going to be awful, because they're all scumbags. They're all drug
right.
dealing scumbags. So yeah. All right. Let's switch back to Brendan's side. Matt O'Leary playing the brain. You had to like this guy. This was a cool
I mean, I
character.
like this guy. He was a cool character. We don't really even know if he is. Does he ever actually stand up? And
No.
I don't believe that his character is ever shown standing up. It's for a while. I'm like, is he a paraplegic? But
I'll,
the brain character was okay. The Matt Leary did very fine with it. I mean, it basically gave us he was like the viewer's kind of kind of like map for the movie. This is who
yeah.
this is who that is. They're connected to that kind of thing. So that's he was kind of telling us without Joseph Gordon-Levitt having to explain it to us.
Okay. So let me maybe I'll blow your mind. Maybe I make you like the film just a little bit more. Because what you're saying, not only do you never see him standing, he's always in that same position,
Mm-hmm.
but you also never see him with anybody but
Nope.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Brendan. Brad, there is a popular fan theory that suggests the brain is not even a real character. He's basically a part of Brendan's subconscious, his
I believe that.
imagination, if you
Yeah,
will,
I can definitely believe that.
which would also account for the fact that why he doesn't have like an actual name. Now, granted,
Yeah.
Lucas Haas plays the pin. He's the kingpin, and Tug is Tug. I get that, but this guy's the brain.
Right.
So when pushed for an answer on this fan theory, Rian Johnson has playfully neither confirmed nor denied the theory that the brain is just a part of Brennan's subconscious. So I think that's cool. Because looking at it, you're like, this guy, he's very helpful to Brendan. He is there anytime Brendan needs something or wants something. He just says it without, he just agrees, right?
Yeah. But
And I
he doesn't help him out physically though.
exactly, but he's the information guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is never sleeping. Like, did you ever notice, like, the brain is always like, get some sleep, man. You need some sleep.
Yeah.
And Brendan back at him is like, all right, go on home, get some rest. They're very they're very concerned for each other's well being, physically and
Mhm.
mentally, but they never earn the, I don't know. I find that character
Could be. I
fascinating.
mean,
I
it
love it.
could be, if obviously if he's had experience with, heroin and all that stuff before, could be flashbacks for him. Hell, it could still be that he uses and they just
Okay.
don't show it. And then when he uses, that's when brain appears. It could be many things like that.
Good call. One more femme fatale for us. I want to mention her just because I love her scenes. The banter between her and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Talking about Megan Good playing Kara.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't understand her character at
you
all.
didn't understand her character?
No. I
She's
thought
she's
she
the
was kind of,
gateway into the underworld here.
yeah, but there was just a lot with her that was like, we need to move on. The story
Man,
needs to move on. I felt he was wasting a lot of time with her.
oh, for crying out loud! All right, well, let's move on.
Mhm.
Surely you must have liked Richard Roundtree, Shaft himself, playing Assistant VP Truman.
Yeah, I like Richard Roundtree. Yeah, he pops up every once in a while playing the assistant VP. Did he did really well, even though I like I said, there's a lot of things I don't think he could be swindled by a high school kid like that, but that's just me.
Well, again, though, like there was a major drug operation that the school caught on to.
Yeah,
Brendan was heavily implicated, but never caught, and
yeah.
he kind of gets a little bit of latitude from the assistant VP
Mhm.
because it's almost like he's working for him, but he's not with him, you know.
Right.
And that's the beauty of this movie. This neo noir film, which usually these characters are centered. You got your hard luck, hard boiled detective or cop or
Yeah.
private eye character who is going through the movie completely confused, trying to figure something out. We're in the same headspace with that guy, and he takes a beating the whole way through just to uncover an unfortunate truth 9 times out of 10. And
Hmm.
I love the fact that Rian Johnson decided to use a high school setting for this, because when you watch the interaction between him and Richard Roundtree's assistant principal, vice principal, it's almost like a cop talking to their sergeant, or talking to the chief,
Right.
just being like, like the chief's threatening to take their badge and their gun, and you got your cop on the edge guy. I love it for that. I think it's fantastic. I can't
The,
I
the
can't
thing
believe
you
that we're
love it
having this
for
argument.
is the thing that I hated it for,
Oh wow.
because I think that the high school setting really hurts the movie. It really takes you out of the believability of, yeah, there I can believe that maybe he's working a little bit with the vice principal and stuff, but the way he talks to him and kind of controls it. And I think the language throughout the film mixing with high school, it just doesn't work for me. I don't think that them trying to act older and smarter and more clever. I mean, I've said this a bunch of times. My wife works in a high school. I've worked in a high school. High school kids are stupid.
Wow.
They're not that smart. And then in this movie, they're way too clever and way too cool.
That's the
And
irony of the film. That's
I
what makes this film awesome. Okay. Can we okay, so maybe we talk a little bit about the production of the film. We
Let's
go
do that,
back,
please.
and maybe I kind of feel like it's my goal now to try and win you over a little bit here. Let's start with Dashiell Hammett. Are you familiar with the name?
I was so it's an author.
Yes.
It's an
He
author
is
that
one.
he basically used as his blueprint for the film.
Well, okay, so Samuel Dashiell Hammett, Brad, one of the finest mystery writers of all time. He has been described as the dean of the hard-boiled school of detective fiction. Yeah, and I know you're familiar with his work. Remember those days back in Suncoast? We always had those those old black and white movies, the Thin Man.
Oh God, yes.
Okay, so he wrote the Thin Man. He wrote the Maltese Falcon,
Okay.
and he created the character, the gumshoe detective character, Sam Spade. So
Okay.
this guy's like he is hard boiled film noir.
Right, right,
This is
right.
the
Yeah.
guy this is the guy that kind of created it all. So yeah, Rian Johnson becomes aware of Hammett's work through an interview of the Coen brothers for their 1990 film Miller's Crossing. Did you ever see
Hmm.
that?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so Johnson grew up on these types of hard boiled detective stories. He's always wanted to do his own. He reads several Hammett novels. He's enthralled by the whole style, and he decides he doesn't want to just be, he's kind of fearful of having his work seen as an imitation. So he sets his story in the world of high school to give it a fresh visual look, to take
Hmm.
it to take that aspect, that style of storytelling somewhere that we've never seen before. And yeah, I know your wife's a high school teacher, and yeah, kids today maybe they're not they don't, maybe they don't take their education as serious. But you got to think about like when we were in high school,
Well, these
and
kids don't take their education seriously. They're never in school. There is not
look,
one scene of them
okay,
in
hold on, we're
class.
not going to get off track. Settle down. Man, you're wired today. You're coming in hating on this movie, and you're ready to shout. Stay on topic here, man. Come
Yeah.
on. But you gotta appreciate the fact that he took this story, because think about it, when you were 15, when you were 16 and 17, yeah, you didn't know everything, but you thought you knew everything, and the
Yeah.
things that you did know were very important to you. They were very serious,
Right.
breakups and potential fights with someone after school. These were very important issues to you. These were the only issues to you. So
Right.
the idea that he takes the the film noir visual style, or that storytelling, and puts it into a high school setting, I think the guy is brilliant for doing it.
Hmm.
Okay, well, okay, so now you got me going off track, but look, he writes his first draft of this movie in 1997.
Right.
He's right out of film school. He spends 7 years trying to sell it, trying to get it made, because apparently every studio head is Brad Kozo at the time, and they're passing because they think it's too unusual. He's a first time director. They don't trust him, and they don't really care for the story. So you can wipe that smile off your face anytime.
Because I know where you're going next.
Well, look, he's determined to make the film, though. Uh, he asks friends and family to help back the project. He raises $450,000 for this thing. So, I mean, could you imagine when we were that age, and hey, mom,
Well,
dad, can give us some money
well,
for a film
I,
project?
well,
Here's $500,000. Sure.
I know we usually, talk about the background of the director, but to kind of explain that, he was a graduate of USC Film School, cinematic
Okay.
arts and stuff. That is one of the most prestigious, most expensive schools as far as filmmakers to get into. You get into the USC Film School, you're going to do fine.
Okay. Well,
So it takes a lot of to get into that film or to that school. So I don't think that Rian Johnson's family had to take out like a second mortgage on their house or anything to
all
fund the
right.
film.
But getting back to the film and how it came to be, here's what you have to respect. He shoots this whole thing in 20 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you said, the dialogue it's tough. These actors, they're in that hard boiled noir queue, so
Yeah.
they're speaking fast. It's some pretty tough dialogue. And you know what? You don't do that. You don't do this movie in 20 days without rehearsing for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
You again, Brad, you're no stranger to the acting world. Could you imagine getting cast in something, and then the director says, "Okay, Mr. Kozo, we're going to rehearse for 3 months."
But I mean, but you said it. It's the kind of film you're making. You're not making Scream, so there's probably really no improving or ad-libbing. It has to basically be what's on that page. You ad-lib or improv off this movie, you're jumping into a different movie. You can't. So you have to stick to script. So yeah, 3 months of rehearsal with as many characters in this movie as there are speaking that way and doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, 3 months is just about right.
Okay, well, that's fair. I'll give you that.
And
I
in
think it's
20
cool
days,
though.
get them in there, get it done, get out. Don't
He
waste
did.
time. It's like if everybody knows it, let's do it now.
All right. Well, he did it now. He filmed it in his hometown of San Clemente, California. He shot on location at his old high school, San Clemente High. And here's one more thing I'll leave you with because I want to see what you think about this. The film's visual style, which for me makes the movie such a great film. And since you don't like it, I'm going to ask you. He did say
I
he.
actually didn't say I didn't like the visual style.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm talking about the film. You didn't like the
Oh,
film,
okay.
but he was influenced. The making of this film, he was influenced by the spaghetti westerns that he grew up on, the very popular Japanese anime series Cowboy Bebop, which I know you've never watched,
Right.
and 1974's Chinatown. So, my question to you is: Do you see the spaghetti western in this? Do you see a little bit of Chinatown in this?
You can yes and yes, and a lot of especially at the beginning, a lot of the shots are of like, the horizon. It's very gray, it's very
Mm-hmm.
dirty looking, it's very wet looking. It never really looks like like it's warm, yet people dress as if it's somewhat early spring, or something like that. But yeah, it definitely has a cloudy gray look to it.
Okay. Let's talk about a couple scenes
Okay.
now. You've kind of mentioned you've kind of planted your flag that you're not a fan of the film, but let's talk about a couple scenes
Okay.
and see what you thought about them. First off, I want to talk about the shot at the coffee and pie oh my
Okay.
restaurant where he walks up to Dodd. We were introduced to Dodd.
Right.
Dodd has his own little crew of henchmen, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt just just cold cocks him right in the face, just punches the cigarette right out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That moment where he turns around on the crew and kind of stands defiantly.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, this is this is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This is his character being confident, being a tough guy, and being willing to take a beating because there's no way he's going to beat up five guys. But he's got some brilliant dialogue there, and he basically breaks Dodd down, and Dodd's spilling the beans on
Mm-hmm.
where he can find Emily. What'd you think of the scene?
I mean, he knows that, and he knows, first of all, that those other guys can take him down, but he knows the kind of character that Dodd is, to where he knows he can wear him down. He
Yeah,
knows he's weak. He knows he's weak. He doesn't have to be like as big as like Tug or anybody like that. He knows just that fear will get him to spill a bean. So he knows it, and his crew knows it too. His crew is kind of in the same boat. They're like, man, if he's willing to do that with all of us around him, well, this guy's crazy. Maybe we shouldn't mess with him. So he knows how to play with them. I mean, they're drug addicts. Confuse them. And that's
yeah.
basically what he does. He confuses them, rattles their head. They don't know what to do.
One of my favorite moments for his character, a little bit further down, he discovers Emily's body, right
Yeah.
at the tunnel.
Right.
The fact that he hears a noise inside the tunnel, his first reaction is to break off into a run inside the tunnel, assuming it's the person that killed her. It just makes me love his character even more. He
Yeah.
he he's Han Solo. He just shoots first, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's love that moment for his character.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely I mean, you can definitely see the Chinatown influence in it, but it's that he has to get the clue. He
Yeah.
cannot let that person get away. It's like, obviously there's nobody down there. And certainly, I mean, he's finding her. He's the one that's going to be implicated in her murder.
Yep.
He's got to find out what's going on. It's like, if it's not somebody else, they're going to think it's him. And ex-girlfriend, drug problem, in with the wrong crowd. Yeah, they could definitely arrest him and indict him on that. No problem. So yeah, he's got to act fast. He doesn't have time to think anymore.
Well, how about his sarcasm though? Because again, you mentioned Chinatown there. He is willing to take a beating just to get information or just to push his opponent into he'll break you down by getting the shit kicked out of himself.
Yeah.
Whether it's the parking lot scene with Brad,
Right.
the movie Brad, who I feel like he kind of holds his own there. I love the fact that the guy's twice his size and he just keeps coming at him. But even with Tug just relentlessly gives him a beat down, and he still is knocking on the window of that Mustang like, I want to meet the pin.
Yeah.
Again, Gordon Levitt he's just sensational in this movie. I can't say enough good things about him. But
Yeah.
I love the choreography for this being a directorial debut. A lot of young unknown actors. I thought the fight sequences were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Yeah, they were.
the way he shot him, I loved him. Right,
A little bit different. He that kind of following the fist,
yes,
with the camera at the same time, type of thing, so that was definitely a lot different. Yeah, I actually liked the banter that he had with movie Brad.
yeah.
He's like, something
He's
funny. No, no,
yeah.
that's not funny.
I, I mean, he makes movie Brad. He makes him a fool.
Yeah.
At the Halloween party. What are you doing here? Leaving.
Yes.
Who invited you to the parking lot? Guess myself.
Yeah, I mean, he had some good. Yeah, so there's some good
the
stuff in there.
the thesaurus line might be the best one though. When when Brennan's like, "There's a thesaurus inside the library. You'll find under Y."
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, he's got some good one-liners on there.
He's
And of
quick.
course, those are the lines that usually you get smacked from
Yeah.
afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna
usually
get a
when you
beating
say
for it.
them, you get a good laugh, but you usually get smacked afterwards.
Yeah. You're gonna get a punch. All right. So, is there a scene that because I could keep talking about stuff I like, but let's talk about something. Is there a specific scene, Brad? Not a style, not a shot, but is there a specific scene that you just didn't care for, or that you're like, this is did it that led you down the path of, hey, I don't really like this film?
I think when he is talking to I mean the conversation with the VP was a little hard to swallow. And then I believe is like one of the last scenes with like Kara and the whole musical, like
Yeah.
the whole thing of her being a performer and stuff. I felt that they were just kind of showing off at that point of like, look, we can do this and we can add this in as well, but it didn't really serve the story at all. So I felt like especially like the Kara girl was, I felt that Brendan was smart enough to where he didn't need her.
I don't disagree with you, but
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Megan Good's performance. So, and I liked how she kind of toyed with him. She was
Mm-hmm.
she was the one that because obviously she's in on the she's kind of connected. She's juiced in as far as like what's happening, where Emily's at, and I feel like her character enjoys toying with guys, and the fact that she can't toy with him, he frustrates her, but she's going to keep doing it, and he is easily frustrated with her because he can't crack her like he can other people, and that's
Right.
why their scenes, they've only got a handful of scenes together, but they're very brief and they end very very stifled,
Yeah.
like almost like you're just waiting for him to say, oh, F off, and storm out.
There's one thing that works in this film that is just kind of odd, is that you see the how difficult it is to communicate without a cell phone in high school. Him having to run to these phone booths and do all this stuff. And I'm like, you just watch this like, man, this would be a lot simpler for him if he had a cell phone. But
Yeah,
he's running all over town.
they are passing notes, they're jamming notes inside
Yeah.
lockers, he's looking through books for clues.
Yeah, he's having to do. I mean, as soon as he wants to get in touch with somebody, he's got to meet him at a phone booth and have it's
Yeah,
huge process for him.
this is a completely different movie if it's shot today, or if it's
Oh
set
yeah,
in today's anything else that bother you, Brad? I hate to ask, but because I know I'm staring at the barrel of a loaded gun, but
I mean, it just for me, it did not feel believable with that style and these kids and this the way they were, the location that they are in. I didn't buy them using this kind of dialogue. Not that the dialogue was bad. I felt that this, if you're going to do this movie, the high school setting was not the way to go.
Again, I gotta disagree with you, but you are entitled to your opinion, sir. So let's take a quick break, and when we get back, Brad, I want to talk about Rian Johnson.
Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Dayton Johnson, the host of the Docking Base 77 podcast. I love to talk about movies. First of all, it was Brad Bird's directorial debut. Once from the get-go proving that he is one of the best directors in Hollywood. There, I said it. It's so much fun. The jokes are great, like I said, and you have such a great voice cast. Harry Connick Jr. as a beatnik was a stroke of genius to cast him. I mean, come on. I love to talk about music. I want to talk about the first song on the album, Our Lips Are Sealed. As far as I'm concerned, this is a perfect pop song. It's catchy, it's fun, it's not quite 3 minutes long. The vocals are great. It's just so much fun, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a perfect pop song. And I have a lot of friends that like to do so as well.
The witches are as long as they're the creepy, sexy witches, you're going to be looking like the neck down. Okay, good. But
come back to us, Dave. Come back to us.
No, I'm going with the witches.
The witches are definitely much more nightmare fuel. But the fact that they look like the Texas Chainsaw centerfolds.
We have a lot of fun, and we hope you'll give us a listen. Thanks, and remember, when it comes to watching movies and listening to music, physical media is better than streaming.
All right, we are back. Brad, tell me a little bit about Rian Johnson.
Well, Rian Johnson was, he grew up in San Clemente, California, which, as we talked about earlier, is where he shot, Brick. Graduated from USC, Cinema Arts in film school. Started off with a short. I have to say, I do love the name of one of his first shorts. I don't know if you've heard this name. Evil Demon Golf Ball from Hell. He made this as a short in 1997.
Okay.
As far as what I know, he is a critic's dream. Critics love Rian Johnson. So he is a big force to be dealing with. I mean, we talked about, I think a couple of weeks ago, directors that can release films based on their names themselves. Rian Johnson is one of those directors. A lot of people love him, hate. He is definitely a hater love kind of guy. And that I guess is rare, but he's made his mark with a few films. Obviously, Brick being the first one. Now, his second film, The Brothers Bloom. Did you ever see that one? I never saw that one.
I didn't see it. This is one 2008. It kind of came and went really quickly. So listen to this. Listen to this quick synopsis, Brad.
Okay.
A pair of brothers, the Blooms, are probably the best con men in the world. Before they get out, they decide to do one last hustle to wine and dine an eccentric heiress with the time of her life with a romantic adventure around the world. I don't know about you, but that sounds dangerously close to 1986's Under the Cherry Moon, which was one of the worst movies, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Maybe that's why I skipped The Brothers Bloom. Maybe, basically it sounds like a Cherry Moon remake. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, man.
Oh,
hey, no way. No, you didn't see it either, then.
No, I didn't see it either. I know it's available on like YouTube for free. But it wasn't until 4 years after that, we get this film. And you know how I feel about time travel movies. You get Looper.
2012, Looper.
Yeah, 2012. A film I wasn't a big fan of the first time I saw it, but as I was telling you, Second Chance November has turned into Second Chance Sunday here at my house. And Looper was one of those films, and I can say that I did enjoy it a lot more the second time around. It's a very dark time travel film, but it still it does work very well. And I think In my opinion, Looper is like, I mean that's one of his best films. In my opinion. What did you think of Looper?
Looper, I absolutely loved the first time I saw it. Again, I think that's the second Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie that Rian Johnson does. The idea that they can make Joseph Gordon-Levitt with minimal makeup, they can make him a young Bruce Willis. I love it, and it works. It's sci-fi in that kind of like in that Philip K. Dick world of sci-fi. It's not that it's a Philip K. Dick book.
Yeah, I believe it's
like
an original story from
yeah.
It feels like it should be from a novel, doesn't it?
It does, but it was actually Rian Johnson who wrote that. So, I mean, he's making a name for himself as like writer director, and he's working with amazing people because, I know in Looper, he's got Bruce Willis, but he's also got Emily Blunt,
Jeff Daniels.
I remember Paul Dano was in that.
Yeah, this is where you start to get big name actors being attached to Rian Johnson films more than like 3 or 4, like 5 to 6.
Looper, I feel like Looper easily could have been the film that we talk about for Rian Johnson because there's not a big audience for it still.
There was, because it was from that where he was basically given that lucrative Star Wars position.
Well, I think in the Hollywood world,
yeah,
but in the Hollywood circles, he got his recognition. But I'm talking about like from a fan standpoint, from an audience. Like I don't like Looper when it came out. It was banking on the Bruce Willis name. It wasn't banking on the Rian Johnson name.
Right.
Definitely wasn't banking on the Joseph Gordon-Levitt name. And I don't remember it being a big film.
It was was a critical success. A lot of critics and a lot of people that saw it. It was different at the time when we needed something a little bit different. It wasn't a very happy film. It's another dark dystopian look at of what we do in our future.
Yeah.
But he does it. I think this is actually one of his best polished films. The makeup, he kind of made his own world with Looper, and I definitely praise him for that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And again, I love it. I just wish more people would have loved it. I think he shot that for like around 30 million. It made about 65, 66. So, you could say it maybe broke even.
But yeah, after that, he directs a couple episodes of Breaking Bad.
Now you just told me recently you've gone back to the Breaking Bad world. You're watching it for like what, the third time, the series?
I think this might be my third time. It's my wife's second time. We're in season 2, and I've been looking at the directing credits. I don't think we're up to his episodes yet, but I've definitely been looking at. But I mean, we talked enough about the Last Jedi, on Docking Bay 77.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
it's a love it or hate it movie.
If you want to hear Brad and I really our real feelings, if you want to hear us get passionate about The Last Jedi, definitely check out Docking Bay 77, the Star Wars episode that we did a while back, which was a blast. I loved talking Star Wars with those guys, Brad. But poor Dayton was clearly outgunned that night.
Yeah, he was definitely outgunned.
When we talk about Last Jedi, he's a fan. He is a fan of
like
The Last Jedi.
It's a love it or hate it. But also too, it did not. It didn't dissuade him any other way, because 2 years later he comes out with Knives Out.
Well, yeah, and this has been my argument, because I can. Not that I want to jump into this argument again or this debate again, but yeah, I am not a fan of The Last Jedi. I think it's one of the worst Star Wars films ever made. However, Rian Johnson is an amazing director. I loved Brick. I've loved Looper, and Knives Out in 2019. Brad, if you recall, I said Knives Out, that I called that as the best film of 2019, and I still feel that way. I went back, I saw some stuff that I had missed, but
this is a film I need to see again. I definitely need to rewatch it before I see Glass Onion.
You're almost out of time. If you're watching Onion today, man, you better You better hope
Hey,
it's
they're
streaming.
on Netflix. They're not going anywhere.
All right.
But it did show that he was not going to sit back, contemplate, some people hate me, some people love me, they don't like my vision. Did I.
Well, you said just a little bit ago, you said Looper might be his best film. Putting Looper up against Knives Out, you still feel that way, or is Knives
I
Out the
still
best?
feel that way. But I mean, I still prefer Looper, but Knives Out was still, I didn't think it was best movie in 2019, but it showed that it was like, okay, this guy he's not down. He's not going to quit.
Well, he certainly isn't going to quit. What's up next for him? We know he's got another sequel, another Knives Out sequel,
Right.
that he's under contract with Netflix for. There is still the conversation about his Star Wars trilogy. That's going to be a separate, outside the Skywalker saga. That's still in development. It's not, he's going to get to it when he gets to it. And say what you will, like, again, I'm in the anti Last Jedi camp, but I would love to see what he could do with an original Star Wars story. So
Yeah.
I will say that if he does it, he does it.
And he's got a television series that he's working on. It's in production right now called Poker Face.
What's that about?
Natasha Lyonne. I mean, it's not very much about it right now.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be coming out in January of next year, and Rian Johnson will, I believe, direct some of those episodes.
Yeah, so we're a week away then.
What would you want to see from Rian Johnson?
Me personally, I think he is doing his best work when he's in the mystery wheelhouse. So not to say that I want to see him just keep churning out Knives Out movies. I know Daniel Craig has said he'll play the character as long as Rian Johnson will let him.
Okay.
But I want to see more I want to see more original work like Brick, and see what he can do with another mystery film. How about you? What would you want to see?
I mean, I really liked what he did with Looper. I think there's some more sci-fi elements to him that I'd like to see. I hope that Star Wars didn't turn him off of that to work in a sci-fi world that's not Star Wars. I would like him to go maybe back to something a little more smaller. But like I said, I've not given up on Rian Johnson. I just
and nor should you.
Not the biggest fan as he's still a young guy. It's like there's going to be a lot more to it. I don't think he's become his own yet. And I think maybe after Glass Onion, see how it is, and I'd like to see something, but yeah, maybe go back to the sci-fi world, because like I said, I really enjoyed Looper, and I'd like to see where we could go with that.
Well, if you want to check out his directorial debut, Brick, it is currently streaming. You can find it pretty much on Amazon, Google, YouTube, Redbox. I saw it on Prime. That's where you saw it, right, Brad?
I did. And here's the thing. It was playing on like Stars for free right up until the day before I watched it.
Well, Brad, that is going to do it for us for the year. You will be back one last time, though. We still have one more film from 1986 to discuss.
Oh, yeah.
You and me will get the gang together to talk about Stand By Me on this Tuesday. And then we've got all kinds of good stuff heading your way in 2023.
Another year wrapped.
Absolutely. Until next time.